we've talked about this around this enough now, and we're about 17 minutes in. Now it's time to tell people why we're here and how we got here. We're talking about this Loom thing. So it was a cool experience for me that I'm in commenting on someone's post, and here comes Dan, and he comments or replies to my comment with a link that's a Loom link. I use Loom, so I'm like, oh, he put a video for me. So I click the link, and it goes over to this 2.5 minute long video of Dan sharing just genuine ideas about. I mean, it's a genuine as if we were sitting in a coffee shop talking to each other. He just turned on his screen, hit record, and sent that video directly to me as a response to my comment on this person's post. And it blew my mind because I was thinking, why haven't I thought of this? Makes so much sense, because I have the same philosophy about this sort of one-to-one, labor intensive, but sometimes it can be semi-scaled approach to building relationships, brand and relationships being the sort of cycle that you're forming a brand through building relationships. And so it hit me, and I was like, wow, okay, this is genius. So I messaged him and then said, hey, thanks for the Loom. And actually what I want to do right now is in post, I'm going to cut to a screen record of me explaining what happened. I'm going to play those videos. So let's cut to that right now. If you're just listening to the audio of this and not watching the video portion, what I'm doing right now is sharing my screen. And I just want to share with you kind of how this conversation got kicked off between myself and Dan. So I wasn't able to find the actual post where we were going back and forth in the comments, but what it led to very quickly was our back and forth in the DMs, which you can see right here. And then he just went ahead and sent me a Loom to explain more of his thoughts, which is what I want to play for you now.
It's funny because I stumbled upon how powerful it actually is to send one-to-one videos on accident, because I did it just to save time. I'm not the strongest writer. I'm a decent writer. I'm a marketer. I can write stuff, but it's kind of like it just took longer to write it than it was just to just throw together a video and be like, hey, this is how you do it. Hey, this is my thoughts. Hey, this is what I'm thinking. Just kind of like I'm doing now. I actually started typing up her message. I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to record a video. And I know that it's worth it. One, because it saves time, but two, because it just has more impact. And I've posted about it on LinkedIn multiple times, but very few people actually still do it. I think there's something about doing personal video where people are afraid. I think speaking into a camera is a skill, and if you get good at it, then personal video is like an amazing little secret weapon of a tool. But the barrier to entry in being confident in front of video, I think, is the thing that keeps people from doing it more. Otherwise, everybody would have a Loom or a BombBomb or a Vidyard account to be doing this all day. I actually think all three of those products are great, and I just happen to like Loom the best right now. They change, it changes. But absolutely start doing it. Grab like a free Loom account and just start hammering it as much as you can. I can't make enough of these videos, and what it really does is turn someone from a kind of a passive fan to a much more engaged fan, because the relational level just went up because of the interaction that you just talked about. So it's a really funny one-to-one tool, but you know what? I don't know, community is built on a one-to-one scale oftentimes, right? Which is why influencers later on, it's because they were doing all the one-to-one, hand-to-hand stuff, like until they got big enough to where they couldn't do that anymore. And even though they still try to do it, it just gets hard. But the amount of energy and momentum and relationship you have to build at the beginning in order to get there takes a lot of this one-to-one thing. And that's why I love the video rather than just doing a Zoom call, which is way harder.
So what you just saw, that screen record, was our interaction. And it opened my eyes to this, this sort of practical way of, now I've got this playing over here and it's like distracting me. But it opened my eyes to this whole idea that you can take LinkedIn as a social platform and truly make it social, because but it's in I don't would say in lightning speed, but at very fast pace. LinkedIn is catching up to the way people are using it and coming behind them. But with this one little trick, this one little tactic, people will see you as a human and you can add so much value. Now, of course, it takes a ton of time. You got to get your mind right. You got to have the stuff in place so you can kind of go through it. But I think it's invaluable. In fact, I think it started 2023. This could be, when it comes to LinkedIn, for SDR, BDR, a solo entrepreneur, whoever is out there trying to build relationships with, build a brand, even a mid-sized company, this could be the one thing that changes the trajectory for your, followship on LinkedIn and the engagement that you get with your
Yep.
content.
I mean, for BDRs and
It's pretty
sales reps,
amazing.
it's pretty silly if you're not using personal video at this point, which is why companies like
Yeah.
BombBomb and Vidyard literally just target salespeople, which is sad because I'm
Yeah.
like, all of us over in marketing could be using it too, but the
So
immediate
much.
application is always a sales one because it's so powerful. But if
Yeah.
anybody's doing social, like, gosh, Loom just doesn't cost that much. And has
Yeah.
most of the features that I want in it, which is why I
Yeah.
use it. I pay for it myself. Like Sweetfish doesn't even pay for it. I pay for it because I use it for
Yeah.
things beyond Sweetfish. So I felt I just pay
It's
for it myself because it's cheap. It's like $10 a month
totally
or
worth
something.
it.
It's like,